What is up, obscure tech folks? Bark coming at you yet again. You guys have spoken. It's tablets that you enjoy. Luckily, I enjoy them too. The Android variety. iPads are expensive. Android tablets are expensive if you go for the Samsungs of the world and stuff like that. But can we get a decent media and just general purpose tablet for $60? I got two here, the UMIDIGI G1 Tab Mini and the ALLDOCUBE Mini 50 Lite, I think it is. Something along those lines. $60, both of them $60, at least at the time that I purchased them. We'll go through with some stuff here. We've got the UMIDIGI G1 Tab Mini, Android 14. It's got 7 gigs of RAM, which is 3 physical, 4 expandable. Only 32 gigs of storage, but it's expandable by SD up to 1 terabyte. It's an 8-inch tablet with a quad-core processor, 80 by 800 HD IPS touchscreen. Then we got that versus the ALLDOCUBE iPLAY50 Mini LITE, Android 13. So a little older Android operating system, but it's got 8 gigs of RAM, which I believe is 4 and 4 physical with 4 expandable to virtual memory, double the storage at 64 gigs, and it does also have a memory card slot to expand. Both of these were $60. Let's unbox both of them, talk about the specs a little more, and then dive all the way into these $60 Android tablets. ALLDOCUBE first. We will peel off the plastic of the ALLDOCUBE box. Got a cardboard sleeve that we peel off, and when you lift the lid, tablet instantly visible. Not very heavy, feels kind of lightweight. Got some documentation. Got a box of accessories, USB A to C, and on the other end of the box, got a cheap charging brick that's opposite color of the cord. That's okay. Now we've got the tablet itself. It has a film screen protector on and a little protective layer on top of that. But underneath this peeled layer, do have a screen protector on. This kind of looks like a Fire tablet, not really impressive build quality wise. Got a speaker grill at the bottom, single firing speaker, I believe. The camera bump looks kind of generic. The back is plastic. Not really impressive if I had to say so. Just kind of basic power, volume up, 3.5 jack, SD jack, slot, and a USB-C charging port. Pretty basic, pretty plasticky. Not really loving the look and feel. Powered on, we get the ALLDOCUBE logo, Android logo. Screen looks okay-ish when it comes on. Just kind of fine. Let's go to the UMIDIGI. Doing the UMIDIGI now. Overall, a more kind of impressive package, and then you lift the lid and it is more impressive. The tablet comes already encased in a case. Camera bump looks more modern. 2 speaker grills on the bottom, and the top same ports looks similar. I did line them up. They're not lined up the same, so it's not the same tablet. Again, you peel off the top layer and you do have a built-in screen protector of the film variety, just like the other one. Do get a black power brick, just like the other tablet. And like I said, you get a USB A to C, but in red. So yeah, cross collars on both. This tablet feels much more premium in the hand. The build quality it doesn't look as Fire-ish. Amazon Fire tablet, whatever those things are, it doesn't look quite like that. Startup screen's a lot more faded, but I don't think that's because of the screen. I think it's just the color choice by UMIDIGI. Let's dive into both these tabs. Okay, so without the case on the UMIDIGI, which is here up front, the ALLDOCUBE's a little taller. I'm going to show you the ports. They don't quite line up, so it gives you a good idea that these are not the same tablet. USB-C ports, they're similar design up top, but this is the UMIDIGI. This is the ALLDOCUBE. Make no mistake about it. If you just kind of look at which I'll show you this in a close-up, but the UMIDIGI is very squared off and very modern. This is very old school feeling, the ALLDOCUBE iPLAY50 Mini, and it just feels janky and light. Double the storage, not mattering much to me right now because I don't shoot video or do video editing on a tablet, especially a $60 tablet. So I'm not worried about the 32 gigs. I'm not going to put a ton of apps on this. It's going to be a media tablet, maybe a little bit of light gaming, but this thing feels supremely better, not only in the hand, but just looks wise, build wise, the squared off, this everything about the UMIDIGI looks and feels so much better than the ALLDOCUBE. So as far as aesthetics go, and not to mention the shorter profile, the width even, the ALLDOCUBE is a little wider. So like I can hold this in one hand really easily. This one I can too, but it's not as comfortable because of that extra little bit there. That extra little bit, if you can see that ledge, just a little wider on the ALLDOCUBE, just makes it a little more uncomfortable. And even though it's rounded off a little on the edges, the UMIDIGI still feels really solid. Feels good. Like, it's still plastic, but it just feels supremely better. Now, neither one of these take a SIM card, so you're not going to be making phone calls on them, nothing like that. You're going to want to stick with the ALLDOCUBE iPLAY50 Pro and the 60 Pro, I believe. Those will do phone calls, texts, all that stuff. But listen, we're talking $60 on these. You're just not going to be able to do that stuff on it. These media and internet browsing consumption, and we just want them to be decent. Let's get an overhead cam on them and start talking about performance. By the way, the iPLAY50 Mini does have Widevine L1. Let's see, other things about it. I was correct on the 4x4, 4 physical, 4 virtual when it comes to the RAM. It does have built-in iWawa Kids software. It says it does only support 720 on Netflix, 1080 on everything else. A 1.8 gigahertz octa-core processor. UMIDIGI has a 2 gigahertz quad-core processor. So the ALLDOCUBE claims 50% faster than quad-core because it's octa-core. We'll find out if that's the truth or not. That may be part of the difference here. Maybe the ALLDOCUBE, even though it is lacking in the build quality department, maybe it's faster. I don't know. We'll find out. They're going to be a little fingerprinty, but I'm going to turn them both on. Okay, so ALLDOCUBE over here on the left and the UMIDIGI over here on the right. So got them both open. I'm going to swipe up. They both open pretty quickly. Okay, so the ALLDOCUBE, I have both of these set up. The ALLDOCUBE is lagging a little bit, so that whole octa-core processor thing, not really coming through on this ALLDOCUBE so far. Like, so far, the UMIDIGI seems, it kind of got to the home screen quicker, didn't have any lagginess going on, nothing like that. So, yeah, this octa-core versus quad-core may not, and look, we've already got Quick Step, whatever that is, isn't responding, so we're going to close that app on the ALLDOCUBE. Okay, so now it's kind of rebooted over here on the ALLDOCUBE. Let's swipe up on the apps. We've got the old school kind of white over here, black over here. Feels about the same speed, toggling up and down through the apps, so, you know, whatever there. Let's take a look at the drop downs. This one had kind of a glitch, but this kind of wasn't exactly fast either. So similar look, of course. Over here, we have just on the ALLDOCUBE settings and power. We've got settings, power, and an additional button on the UMIDIGI. We'll push that and see what that is. Users. So you can set up different users on this tablet. That is a win for UMIDIGI. I've got my obscure mics thing going on, guest or add user. So we can stop on that. Let's go full brightness on the UMIDIGI here. So both tablets are at full brightness. I'm going to go ahead and go into the settings of each tablet. Okay, the UMIDIGI lagged behind when going into the settings compared to the ALLDOCUBE. I will say, even though they say that they're both 1280 by 800 or whatever that was on the resolution, I do find the UMIDIGI a little more aesthetically pleasing screen-wise. UMIDIGI seems to have some more settings going on than this one. We've got network setup, connected device, apps, notifications, battery, the storage, which we got memory use, memory and expansion, plain as day on the UMIDIGI. Haven't got that over here on the ALLDOCUBE yet. Storage, sound, display, wallpaper, accessibility. We also have a larger font by default on the UMIDIGI than we do on the ALLDOCUBE. Display, wallpaper, accessibility, security and privacy. Security and privacy in one tab, but two tabs over here on the ALLDOCUBE. Location, safety and emergency, password and account. So safety and emergency on the UMIDIGI, right on the main menu. Nothing here on the ALLDOCUBE. Digital well-being. We also don't have that on the ALLDOCUBE. That's probably a 14 versus 13 thing. System, about, all that good stuff. Let's click system of each. About the same speed there. Let's see, gestures are here and there. Gestures were set up here by default. This had the 3-button system by default. About tablet, each one. Okay, so on this we've got not much information here, but on this we have the fact that it's the G1 Tab Mini, Android 14. We got the storage, the processor, which is an RK3562. And yeah, just overall a little bit more voluntary information there as opposed to here. If we go into display on each tablet, we've got basically the same settings here. Okay, except for one thing here. We've got dark mode, night light, screensaver. Both of these have color enhance, so we can adjust some of the settings here in picture mode. So same on each. I do have the saturation up on that a little bit. Let's turn that off because we don't. That was just something I had going on before. Ebook mode on the UMIDIGI though. We'll talk more about that in a moment. Let's go ahead and go back out here. So both these are set to default. I did have this saturated a little more because I found it to be a little faded. And that still holds true. I still think this, by default, just has better color reproduction and just an overall more pleasing look than the ALLDOCUBE. Let's go back to the display settings. Now, see, there we go. That didn't quite feel the touch. Let's go ebook mode here. So now we're in ebook mode. So you get that gray and white. So if you're a reader, the UMIDIGI is going to give you that black and white mode, and I think that's really cool. I know other tablets do it, but for $60 to get this ebook mode, maybe that's an Android 14 thing. I'm not 100% on that. Let me know in the comments if you know, but the UMIDIGI's really just seemingly better to me right now. Let's get out of ebook mode. Super smooth, super easy. Let's open up a web browser. My internet's not the greatest out here. I think I need to replace my internet cord. Looks like they both got there pretty quickly. That's what she said. Again, we just have an overall bigger profile here on the UMIDIGI than we do on the ALLDOCUBE. I'm sure that can be adjusted, but by default, the UMIDIGI's just really winning me over here. Again, neither one of these are going to be blazing fast or anything like that. But yeah, this just looks a little better for sure. And the border, the amount of border from one to the other, I like this a lot better. Let's open the Play Store to each. This did get there a little quicker. So, I mean, maybe the processor is a little bit better at times. I think it just depends. But for $60, I'm not disappointed with either so far. As far as just the overall speed goes, they're not speed demons. It's not going to be like that. It's not going to be like that. It's just these are basic tablets. Let's go to YouTube on each of them. Again, ALLDOCUBE getting there just a little quicker. Hey, look, it's me. Hey, look, it's me. Hey, look, it's me. Let's go to Tom Buck. Let's check out some Tom Buck action. We do have a dual firing on the UMIDIGI. It does come out of both of these grills. Single firing on the ALLDOCUBE. So this does sound a little better. Let's get them sideways profiled. Preach, Tom. So we got both of them working right now. Thanks, Tom, for being my guinea pig. Now, to my eyes, the screens are pretty close in quality. The ALLDOCUBE's got a little bit darker of a profile than the UMIDIGI. I feel like the UMIDIGI's a little more true to tone as far as like Tom's background, Tom's colors, all that good stuff. So, but they are really close. Yeah, the brightness on the UMIDIGI, you probably can't really tell from this view, but the brightness is better. They're both at max brightness. The UMIDIGI is absolutely brighter and more vibrant as far as brightness goes on the UMIDIGI. I really think that the performance is just too close to really pick one over the other. The build comes into play, the border comes into play, the speakers come into play, and honestly, besides this having the edge in storage, I really think the UMIDIGI so far is just easily the better tablet. This thing just feels cheap. Let's get Tom off there real quick. Thanks, Tom. You sure were helpful. Also, real quick, as I was saying earlier, now that we got a better look at these buttons, these are just like cheap, plasticky, wiggly buttons on the ALLDOCUBE. And the UMIDIGI is not. They are solid. They are textured here on the power button. Just such a better design on the UMIDIGI. Fire up a Call of Duty just to see what we got here. I will also say, while these are loading up whatever freaking updates I should have already done, the ALLDOCUBE is considerably warmer on the backside than the UMIDIGI. Like, fairly toasty already, not really. Slightly warm on the UMIDIGI. All right, so the UMIDIGI, we're going to go ahead and fire this up. It's always this place. Maybe that's always the first one you do. A little glitch there, maybe. Oh, definitely a little glitch there. But it was just in changing, maybe. I'm not sure why that guy didn't kill me, actually. I'm really bad at this. Anyways, I'm not feeling it. It's not feeling smooth either. So, man, I don't know about all this. On this one, not really doing it for me. Maybe the second round, maybe we feel a little better this time. I am really bad. So I was crouching. Yeah, this isn't going well. Yeah, okay. Not really working well on the UMIDIGI. Again, the tablet itself, it is fine for media consumption, browsing the web, probably gaming of the Candy Crush variety, but even Call of Duty Mobile, not really feeling that. So let's go ahead and try the other tablet. All right, so we are on the ALLDOCUBE. Will this $60 banger get it done? We shall see. The UMIDIGI, just wouldn't recommend playing Call of Duty on it. Not good enough. Here we go. Again, I'm not good at this. Definitely feels smoother. I can actually play it on this. Yeah, see, I can actually get something going this time around. Yeah, okay. Well, this is something to think about. Well, this is making me think, for sure. So that octa-core makes a little difference on the gaming. Okay, so honestly, we have a little bit of a tough call here. Like, if you do want to play pretty much any game out there, not any game. If you want to play a little Call of Duty, play some games that require a little more processing power, a little more RAM possibly even, this ALLDOCUBE Mini Lite kind of got it done. They really skimped on the build quality, but the internals are seemingly better, and we do have more storage. I will say, I want to notice after it was a couple days in between the first part of this video and then me actually playing Call of Duty on these. The UMIDIGI, the screen feels, I don't know if you'll understand this completely, but the screen feels right on top. Like it feels like it is right there. On the ALLDOCUBE, the screen you can definitely tell is underneath of a layer there, and it feels a little recessed in the body. So everything about this ALLDOCUBE feels cheap. Yeah, it just doesn't feel as premium as the UMIDIGI, and I've been doing a lot of social media and video watching on the UMIDIGI with no issues whatsoever. So I'm going to say media consumption and just general use, this UMIDIGI's build quality is just so much better. The sound quality is a little better because of the double firing speakers. But if you want to be able to do some gaming as well, the ALLDOCUBE was clearly better. Media consumption UMIDIGI, gaming ALLDOCUBE. $60 either way. Both of them work pretty well. You got Android 14 on the UMIDIGI, 13 on the ALLDOCUBE. They're worth the 60 spot, both of them. Also, let me know which one of these I should keep. I'll post a poll on the community tab. And if you think I should keep one over the other for future comparisons, future shootouts with other $50, $60, maybe even $70 budget tablets, let me know. And we'll keep one of these to go head to head with whatever's next. Obscure Tech, Barks out of here. I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.